Hey, what's happening, everybody? Yes, it's John Denton, and finally I am here with the full album reaction to Mac Miller's Faces. This video does release on sadly the 1 year anniversary of Mac's death. I have been asked to do this album ever since I started doing full album reactions on this channel, and tracks from this album ever since I started reacting to music. It seemed to time out that I was going to do it this week, and then obviously it seemed to time out that it made sense to do it on the 1 year of his anniversary. Obviously, this isn't a monetized video for me. You probably will see adverts. All of those adverts will be directing money towards Mac's label. I'm not too sure exactly how it would work. But yeah, I hope you guys can understand that I'm very excited and interested to hear this record. I've heard bits of Mac's music here and there, and it's outstanding. Somebody already, from the small amounts that I've heard, massively appeals to all the different elements of sort of hip hop that I like, certainly in terms of bars and flow, and even some of the kind of funkier stuff that he was doing later in his career. So yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree to rest in peace Mac Miller. What an incredibly sad situation, and hopefully it'll be, in our own little way, somewhat a tribute. But you can tell I'm slightly awkward even saying this sort of stuff. So we're just going to go straight in, guys, with Inside Outside. And this is a long one, so let's go. It's going to be a long video, I would have thought.
Yeah, should have died already. Faces. I should have died already. Shit, faces. Yeah, I should have died already. Came in, I was high already. Everybody tripping, and my mind ain't steady. For my sin, should have been crucified already. All my homies philosophers. Damn right. Yeah, all my homies philosophers. Now I don't need nobody, I would love somebody though. Don't you ever get it fucked up.
Just notice that lyric. It feels like an intro track, of course, but everybody want to be God. Besides God, you want to be like us. Wow, that's a very, very powerful lyric that got me thinking and kind of forgetting what he was saying next. I've never heard anybody say that. I don't know if that's a quote or if that's straight from Mac, but that literally, I've never heard anybody say that. That is something to really think about. That definitely just felt like an intro to this mixtape, pinned in the middle by that incredible lyric. And then we're going to go into Here We Go now. I'm just going to let the transition ride out, because you never know how transitions are going to go when you never heard an album before.
Be without fear in the face of your enemies. This is your oath.
Yeah. So how's it feel? Can you feel it? Polo pajamas, I think I made it. I showed my mom my first million, she damn near fainted. I'm the hardest working person in the universe. Temptation, victim to the church of Lucifer. Internet rappers ain't shit when no computers work. You spent your whole advance on 2 chains in the Gucci verse. I'm the greatest.
Already, dude. Already, like, rapping over that sort of beat, I'm always going to be in. But this guy he just captures your attention immediately. He captures your attention immediately. I'm the hardest working person in the universe. I am the hardest working person in the universe. That's a hell of a line. That's different. That sounded so real. But then temptation, victim to the church of Lucifer. Already, like, we know what's happened to Mac. It's so tragic. And already you're getting that juxtaposition there in his mind. Internet rappers ain't shit when no computers work. Spent your whole advance on 2 chains in the Gucci verse. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're seeing that right now. We're seeing a bunch of rappers that came up, blew up, and now where are they? We're going to see Lil Pump in a year. I don't mean to be mean. I actually kind of like Lil Pump, but you know what I'm saying?
It don't fit on nobody's playlist. If I ain't in your top 10, then you a racist. Cocaine ether creates a strange creature. I did it all without a Drake feature. So many things that I've created, but this right here might be my favorite. Open the gates with a briefcase with $1 million under the pavement. That's just on some rainy day shit. Yeah, and kids getting murdered that I grew up with. They shooting up, doing drugs, or they doing nothing. My girl's parents still living out in the hood. I come through in that new Beamer like this shit all good. Even my homies tell me take a break. They know it ain't their place, and it's a day I hate to waste. Trying to be a legend by tomorrow. I did it all without a J feature.
Golly. Did it all without the Drake feature and did it all without the J feature. But in the previous line, I'm not perfect, but they ain't either. Is that a play on ether as well? Interesting. Mac's a guy that you just want to listen to. And that's a huge compliment, right? Somebody's going to put their music out there and essentially talk. When raps like this, when it's clear and coherent and full of clever lines and bars and slick rhyme schemes and all that sort of stuff, what better compliment is there? I just really fucking want to hear you. There's so many artists that we can't necessarily say that about all the time. But I want to hear what this guy's got to say about everything. And I like the feeling of the contrast between he's still got the underdog mentality, yet he feels like he's made it or something like that. But it's keeping that that underdog mentality. Friends featuring Schoolboy Q.
Snowflakes keep falling on my expired debit cards. Don't know why I'm still awake, I gotta be up at 10 or more. Devil, I'm a motherfucking minotaur. Oh my god, look at how upset you are. Cause we out here winning, brought my dogs from out the reservoir.
Oh,
and I'ma let them bark before you ready, my set was...
Straight from Snowflakes keep falling on my expired debit cards. I mean, I love it when a single line can conjure up the imagery of everything. Obviously talking about chopping up cocaine. I get what he's talking about. But that one line? I'm not the devil, I'm a motherfucking minotaur. Oh my god, look how upset you are. Because we're out here winning, brought my dogs out from the reservoir.
Conscious so weak, I need to split it up in 7 parts. Revis brought me out to Cali for the first time. But still to fall in love is like an orgasm. Cause you're never gonna know if your girl fake it. I'm always faded, getting shaded in the basement. I'd spot a cello. Now all I do is play it, yeah. I think it's time to give me all your praises, so I can get this money and give all the homies raises. My life is on these words, this is my affidavit. And if you want a legal battle, send your ass to David. There's snowflakes falling on my debit card. Swear I'm not alive, I couldn't tell you if we ever are. In this Game of Thrones, it is known, I got them 4G LTE connection boards. No control, fuck Ken Lamar. I
didn't know if that was a heavy shot at Kendrick or a light-hearted shot at Kendrick. So I did the old click on Genius, and obviously playful response. It says playful response. I thought those guys were close to something like that. I can't remember. Obviously all the tributes came out after he passed. I'm sure I saw one from Kendrick. So I certainly never heard there was any anguish there. So that makes sense. In this Game of Thrones, it is known, I got the 4G LTE connection bars. So he's saying rap games like the Game of Thrones, which I love. I love that. I was thinking about it like that anyway. And then I got the 4G LTE connection bars. It's all about 5G these days. But it's weird because you hear that and you're like, fuck, this is actually not as old as it seems. It seems like this should be 15 years old, but it's 5 years old. But yeah, I got the 4G LTE connection bars, assuming that was the best thing in 2014. So you could just replace that with a 5G. Man, I got it anyway. But man, I really get why he was so respected in the game as well. Not just by the fans. Like, he is an MC's MC straight away. Just like some of these other guys, he's got elements of Earl Sweatshirt in there. He's got elements of Kendrick. He's got elements of like the really great lyricist, but also with the great flow and there's Action Bronson in there. I'm just, this is a real honor just to be able to listen to this and to be able to do it on camera and for people to watch. I say it all the time. It's humbling. It's weird. This is a particularly poignant one, obviously, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far. It's definitely my kind of hip-hop.
Smiled as I saw Germ, nerding out with Josh Berg, talking analog here and drinking on a Palmer. Then ready for them Spreewell braids, but the lady said my hair was too short. Damn, I always thought my mom's was the illest for that shit. Driving through the hood, she did not have a reaction. My grandma probably slapped me for the drugs I got. I'm a crackhead, but I bought her diamonds. We love rocks.
It's fucking hard to hear all the cocaine bars, the I'm a crackhead, but I bought her diamonds. It's hard to hear that shit. You're like, I know he had and has talked about all his problems. I heard about the guy from his problems before his music, before I ever started reacting to music, and that's just me being honest about it. But it's really hard to hear all that stuff. I know there's some other of his music that we've heard over the time that's so on the nose about what ended up happening to him. Is scary. Straight to Angel Dust again, talking about the drugs.
That drip, yeah. Okay. Writing on writer's block. Haven't slept in days, they wanna put me in the psycho watch. Everyone's afraid of what I do inside my studio. Worried I'ma lose control, they ruffling my feathers and they shuffling the Yu-Gi-Oh.
I caught a couple of bars there, the Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Una Dos Bitch, I'm in your head like Freddy Krueger though. But the beat just got me straight away. You put that type of old piano on a beat, give me kind of slow, soft, shuffling, boom bap beat, I'm in. I've been in since fucking the 90s, man. I've always loved that type of beat. Always. All the hip hop I used to love when I was young, really young in the 90s, just sounded like this. Straight away, writing on writer's block, I haven't slept in days. They want to put me in a cycle which everyone's afraid of what I do inside my studio where I'm going to lose control, really ruffling my feathers and shuffling the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Annihilated, lying on the pavement, covered in items I regurgitated under a fire escape. And I know that it's Friday, cause every Friday they have a parade in front of City Hall. I'm lost inside a giant matrix, isolate myself from eyes I find contagious.
Isolate myself from eyes I find contagious? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? In terms of how to say, oh, I'm just kind of want to get away from people. You say that? That's what I'm talking about, guys. That is what I'm talking about.
Found a 20 laying by the sewer rats. You know, little Stuart hasn't been in any movies lately. He spent his paychecks on cocaine and latex. It's just a little angel dust. Don't fuck with the angel dust. Please don't fuck with the angel dust.
Oh, shit.
That was my favourite track so far on the record. It was a harsh track. The second verse was just kind of like, I guess, crazy, feeling fucked up on the angel dust type of thing. The first verse was brilliant. But just music, that was my favourite track so far on the album. Again, just to reiterate, you know, hearing Mac talk so openly about drugs and then what happened to him is very hard to hear, especially when he can kind of clearly plot his own path. It's fucked. Now let's move into Malibu.
And kill me now if I did it all for hip-hop. I might die before I detox. This ain't high school, no little Asian I can cheat off. We keep, but I just pray that I'll survive tomorrow. As she cries in sorrow, she just needs some time to borrow. She'll be smiling by tomorrow. Combination with that ecstasy sniff. On the phone, probably yelling at Rich. But Uncle Sam could never teach me how to duck. I'm thinking till my brain pops. Spitting is a cakewalk. I'm just a rapper, guess I'm sticking to my day job.
I'm the only suicidal motherfucker with a smile on. Let's hold hands and sing the Bible. That's a violent psalm. I'm the only suicidal motherfucker with a smile on. I mean, moving into What Do You Do?
Eric Andre, man, I think I'm Louis C.K. Man, I think so, therefore I am. Man, it's 8 a.m. Man, my mind is an emporium, a cute naked house. My brother, one of the only ones I could confide in.
A drug habit like Philip Hoffman will probably put me in a coffin.
Oh, mate. The pussy like trouble because I'm in it often, just about to laugh, and then a drug habit like Philip Hoffman will probably put me in a coffin. I mean, it's so unfortunately prophetic, the whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing is so unfortunately prophetic.
She got that stank puss, then I won't be long.
Never lose your mind, cause insanity is brutal. Life is just like college, all you have's your noodle. Mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm staring at a dead man. Me and Mikey go back like Bron's headband. Try, swear I got a third eye. It's work time, I saw the coach students out in Irvine.
Coming off the high.
Man, there's so many bars in here that I'm struggling to keep up. I got caught out by the White American Hotter from the Aryan, and I didn't realise Mac was Jewish, so that's an interesting bar right there. Me and Mikey go back like Bron's headbands, that's funny. Love You More Than Kanye loves Kanye, says Sir Michael Rocks. That's funny. But yeah, this is great back and forth. I never heard of Sir Michael Rocks before, but it's great back and forth, bar heavy. Weird beat though.
Let me off at the top. We can keep riding for now. Let me off at the top.
Into It Just Doesn't Matter Now. This is complicated. It's more musically complex than I was expecting.
Every team they're sending over here has their own personal masseuse.
Jumping out the Camino. Just left the gas station, smell like hot Cheetos. Record a softcore on a TiVo. Modern meatloaf. Yeah, I'm rolling. keep it in motion. Gold on, Caucasian still love me like my name was Michael Boson. Hold on, do you fucking dirty like the soap gone? Froze on, that's bone chilling, colder than the Pope. Secrets older than to your windshield and get killed. Bugging out, had it all, I'm nothing now. I just gave it away. Fuck a lady.
Flying to your windshield and get killed, bugging out.
I bust speakers with some bullshit rap. I'm on drugs, all my new shit whack. Remember that.
It feeds off the earth. A night like this.
The track felt like a man lost, but a man lost still with the ability to just flow and create rhyme schemes, and rapping's easy to him, but everything else is difficult. That's what that song felt like to me, and I kind of guess that's what this mixtape is kind of feeling like to me at the moment. I mean, it's long. We're already nearly half an hour into this mixtape and not even a third of the way through. So there's so much to take in here. I'm not too sure how I'm going to edit it, but you know, he's just so slick with the bars. But in terms of overall musicality, it's a strange record. It's very strange. And now I'm listening to it with the context of what's happened. It obviously does lend a lot of the lines a lot more gravity. But I'm nevertheless constantly impressed by his ability as a lyricist and just a pure MC. Therapy now.
How it feel. Now it's real. So can you tell me how you feel? Can you tell me how it feel? As we follow all the stupid advice, and I don't usually like to be dishonest with you. I must have lost the picture. Give me a box of swishers, room full of obnoxious bitches. Why you lying to me? Yeah, I could make you feel like that perfect girl you wish you was. Giving you that feeling like when Christmas comes.
Hey. I mean, this feels like Mac on the coke. I gotta be honest. Confidence, bravado, self-belief, no questioning, no remorse, no regret. So, you know, maybe he's coming back up again. Love the beat in this one. There's elements of what is to come, right? I've heard, you know, tracks from Swimming that sound a bit more like this. So obviously he has a real taste for this kind of sort of funky, loungy type of music.
Can you tell me how's it feel? How's it feel? Can you tell me how it feel to come and hang around a motherfucker like me? Said I'm back on these rap songs, feeling that never gonna last long. Got a shortcut, baby, I'll pass on it. Mighty, throw your ass on it. Put that money in my motherfucking hand. Take another pool, goddamn. Ain't part of the plan like a car in a van. I'm rolling, I'm feeling good, I'm golden. Can you tell me how's it feel? Can you tell me how it feel?
So Polo Jeans now with Earl Switcher and Ab-Soul. So yeah, full concentration brain on for this one. The fucks wanna go nuts because the smoke dust overdosed on the sofa.
I give no fucks when I go nuts cause I smoked dust, overdosed on the sofa dead. Woke up from a coma, pulled up in a soda, smoke, went back to bed. Feel sight slipping, long lines of those white women. I'm with the homies, bump counting crows. Just went through a half ounce of coke. Kids, come on, let's go, man.
Fucking hell. What a fucking sad song this is. What a sad song this is. I mean, what can you do? He's so aware. He's so aware of his problem. He's so aware of his problem. He's completely owning it. But it doesn't matter. It's still happening.
Dries on the paper, and lately I don't like shit. I've been inside on the daily, getting wasted is the time that I'm spending high and sedated. I'm putting 5 in his face because we don't buy in the bullshit. As soon as it's flashing lights and it's cush to hide in the bushes. I do this shit out of spite cause there's niggas that overlook me forever. I'm more content with dark and stormy weather. Flip the fucking cross on your rosary, we supposed to be better. But here's a toast to your efforts, and don't approach me with nothing that isn't money or breakfast. I'm close to choking a pussy, sweaty man, you best to
Earl Sweatshirt. Going for one thing, and here's a toast to your efforts, but don't approach me with nothing that isn't money or breakfast. Toast for breakfast.
bet your bottom dollar on them with a couple niggas weighing sets like it's a lot of options. 15 blood from my lungs on the scene, cashing out off the garments, the hardest fuck what you think. The sky turn black and the carriers could pick, and my flesh when I rest tell them bury me a drift.
A mid-roll came in the YouTube version of this that I'm listening to, but it was a good time to actually pause it. I've just smashed my knee on the corner of the thing. There's not a lot of room in here. Earl Switcher. I mean, you can't just go and listen to a verse by Earl Switcher at once and catch everything. You're going to catch maybe a tenth, and then you're going to go back and go fuck, and then you go back and go fuck. But that happened a few times. But he's such a weird guy because you can tune him out as well. Well, if you're not really paying attention, that monotonous flow is easy to tune out. But if you're listening, oh, it's like Christmas, nasty Christmas, because it's a fucking nasty, sad song. But Christmas nonetheless. I don't know what I'm talking about now. The sky will turn black and the carrions can pick at my flesh when I rest. Tell them bury me adrift. Okay, Earl.
Okay. There's a birthday. Yeah.
And a happy birthday now. God, such a sad song. Amazing song, but sad song.
Okay. There's a birthday party happening upstairs. Where? And it's all for me. Who the fuck cares? They won't notice if I never go and show my face. They just looking for a reason they can celebrate. Okay. I hate to waste a vanilla cake that they made for me. Crucible. If you fucking with the God, that's a funeral. Lose your soul, I'm with you longer than your student loans. Who got the ecstasy pills? I need a few to roll. The heaven, now you running there? Do you think about the fantasy and make believe? Okay. Do you cover up your eyes? You can't wait to see. Look.
Wow, that was a dark song, but very powerful, and the beat was good as well. But it's kind of relentlessly dark, this album. I didn't realise how dark it was. I didn't realise how poignant it was, and obviously with what's happened, the poignancy increases massively. But I didn't realise that we were just going into a kind of introspection on Mac Miller's drug problems. I didn't realise that that's what this was. It's extremely harsh. And musically very accomplished. He's a phenomenal rapper. Okay, we're moving into a track called Wedding now.
Yeah. My bitch can tell that I'm addicted to pussy. She looking past it. The smile that she faking is tragic. Hate looking at it. That magic I try to grasp it. She's had it with the dramatics. Fantasize of love so classic. Attracted to what she got up in her attic. Can we mind fuck? Do I lie when I look inside her eyes? Hush, don't say a word. Sometimes I wonder what it's all for. I wish that I would call more. Sick of seeing condoms in my sock drawer. Love turns to war so quickly. I envisioned us married in 50.
Oh, an interesting track. In the bleeding heart honesty of Mac here is coupled with, and his undoubted selfishness in this situation. But Mac is a person that doesn't necessarily feel in control of his impulses and urges, right? And we're getting that throughout the album. And you're just creating an image of like he's devastated to hurt this girl, but he's not stopping it, and he's just disgusted himself, almost like he disconnects from that other Mac Miller, and he knows where he wants to be and where he wanted to be, but he just couldn't get there because everything kept pulling him away. And this isn't specifically about the drugs this time, but it all kind of ties into this disconnected part of his personality where it's so fucking tragic, because that magic I tried to grasp it. He's talking specifically about the relationship there, but you can kind of put that lyric onto everything, right? Mac didn't want to be the Mac that he was, but perhaps the Mac that he was also made him the Mac that he was, with the drugs and the sex and everything like that. That's still a part of him and who he is. So what a deafening dichotomy in your own mind that must be. This is a true essay on addiction. And look how it ended up. Not just this song, but this whole album. And getting to hear somebody so eloquent and intelligent and articulate, but also slick and clever and funny, talk about it in such depth and detail through the medium of music enlightening is the wrong word, because that almost sounds like you're making light of it, because this isn't a light listen. But I'm learning by listening to this. People assume that addiction is, you can just fucking stop doing it. And yeah, you can. Ultimately you can. But it ain't as easy as all that. I mean, it is so far from easy as all that. It's a disease. It's the disease of the mind. It's a disease of the spirit. It's the disease of the soul. And it's also a disease of choice. And we're kidding ourselves if we think that we can always be fully in control of our choices at all times. And it's easy to be like that. And being like that is one of the hardest fucking things to do in the world. So this, by moving it away from the drugs and moving it into a relationship, almost gives more context to the drugs, if that makes sense. This is a very powerful track, actually.
Girl, I'm the worst. Yeah, I'm the worst. You could probably use a couple minutes in church, but for what it's worth, I think you're perfect. There's an angel hiding underneath the surface. You knew I fucked that bitch and you didn't react. Girl, it's me and you, how simple is that? You gave me all your love, now I'm giving it back. But I know that, girl, you the worst. Yeah.
So here, is he saying that his girlfriend has done similar things to him? Or is he saying his girlfriend is the worst, ironically, because she's not being honest and not reacting to how awful he is, and that's allowing him, from a selfish point of view, to latch onto his demons and latch onto his vices? I'm not sure. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Not like, I think there's an irony in his victim blaming, because he's ultimately blaming himself. He's not blaming her, but he's, you know, her inactivity, her inaction in the face of what he's done and does allows him to be a certain person, and he's not blaming her for that, but he knows in his heart and in his mind that her doing that, it's twisted, right? It's not, you know, this is extremely complicated emotions we're talking about here, extremely complicated thought processes. Nothing is ever black and white. This is why Twitter is a nightmare to discuss anything, because you could never have anything this complicated on that platform. So, what an interesting track. I feel this is one I'm definitely going to go back to a lot of times. It comes at the kind of the halfway point of the record, and I think with good reason, because it adds context to everything else in a beautiful way. And what, you know, the man's a poet. There's no two ways about it.
I know what happens.
Yeah.
You, me,
Then it's a funeral.
You turn up my headphones.
and everyone else will there.
Music go with my funeral. Yeah. Said I was raised inside this gritty city. Riding through, you probably missed me. My bicycle fell, I hit the road, the mailman almost hit me. A brand new Porsche Bentley. Had a few abortions, unfortunately I forced them. Lord knows I'll turn a child to an orphan when I'm torn. I'm more than what I think of myself. I really have to be. Sit at home and drink by myself. My thoughts harassing me. Yeah. I've been trapped inside of dreams of mine, so you'll never get a piece of mine. This the last day of my life. Party like it's the last day of your life. Party like it's the last day of your life. Yeah, yeah. See, we swallowed in this web of lies. Never try to exercise. It used to be a fantasy, but now I guess it's televised. With you, I'm out here with the kangaroos, making danger break the rules. Celebrate my date of birth with acid, get the days confused.
Man.
Happiness I take from you, searching for the naked truth. I'm not awake, I'm in a lake, I'll swim away with you. Yeah.
Wow, man.
It's the last day of my life. Where are you going?
Oh man, this song's unbelievable.
Where are you going?
Wow, the last three tracks have taken this record to a completely different level. The man's a poet. He's just a poet. I can't think of any other way to describe it. That was just so poignant, regardless of what's happened. Actually, regardless of what's happened, it's more so because of what's happened, of course. But there's just so much to that. A first reaction just isn't enough on that. That's a song that I will go back to many, many, many times. That's an all-time great song. I can tell straight away. I mean, it sounded brilliant as well. It wasn't complicated. It was a beautiful beat. But there was just so much in there. Just doing drugs is a war with boredom, but they're sure to get me. Even just lines like that. Shame that my tragedy is my masterpiece. Trapped inside these dreams of mine, just trying to get some peace of mind. I mean, he's right. His tragedy is his masterpiece. Okay, into Diablo now. Now, I have heard this track on stream. We do streams and people recommend music and request music. I have heard this. I know it sounds good, but I've not paid attention to any of the bars. But, you know, I don't want to pretend like I've not heard this track. Yeah. Oh, man, this beat is a killer.
Yeah. Rap Diablo. Yeah. Yeah. It's the Rap Diablo. Macho when I drop flows. Bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo. Colder than Gazpacho. Colder than the mono. Rapping head honcho. Rocking shows like I was Bono. I go. Play a couple keys on the piano. Tell me where the keys at. The time continuum. Mortal Kombat finish 'em. Trying to find a balance. Reaching for my equilibrium. Fools I pity 'em. I'm not a human, I'm amphibian. Fake superhero like the mystery man. Famous functions, how do the famous function? The A-list can't be trusted. I strong arm them like I play the trumpet.
Oh no, you didn't just say that. I strong arm them like I play the trumpet. No, you didn't just say that. I fucking strong arm them. I Louis Armstrong strong arm them like I play the trumpet. Fucking hell.
Me then just lie to me. I'm finer than the winery. Yeah, should everybody got dead homies? Apartment basements, this a marathon, gentlemen, go ahead and start the races. Save the coffin spaces. Don't come up missing, tell your bitch that you been tripping, now you on vacation. Rapping like it's automated, lights I keep them on like Vegas. Been a beast, every word I spit rewriting history. Look at what you did to me, look at what you did to me. Run into the underworld with guns and set the sinners free. Cause everybody got dead homies.
Amazing. Amazing. That's a hip-hop classic as far as I'm concerned. That is a hip-hop classic. That's it. That beat is just gorgeous. If you're a fan of beats and bars and breaks like that, then what else do you want from life? Brilliant. Again, dissecting his own thoughts, dissecting his own personality, dissecting his own mind, but in a slightly different way. And I guess everybody's got dead homies could refer to people who actually died or people that, you know, not with anymore. Definitely a theme you quite often hear from rappers and famous people, of course. But just musically, that's just one of those cuts, man. That is just one of those cuts. We've gone up, I must admit. I was enjoying the early parts of the album. It was fairly quite harsh. But now we've just gone to a different level. The last 4 or 5 tracks into Ave Maria.
Yeah, and I can't feel my legs, I'm a paraplegic. Lord, I want to fare home with my demons. Karen Myers became married to Jesus. Born dead, they had to dig up my fetus. Capture closet hillbilly through the spinners on the tractor. I listen to Uncle Cracker, but that's white America for you. We all that matters. The rock, a bad apple like an unemployed Macintosh. We lost jobs. Now they brainwashed with .com just only to let the merry-go-round. Eat, drink, and let the merry-go-round. Eat, drink, and let the merry-go-round. Shout to Spitter Jet Life, I fit the Porsches on the PJs. On stage, sending dark forces to my DJ. The birdies on tour like PGA. Davis love the third. Pittsburgh, I fuck with Solange. All my life they said I doesn't belong. So I'm chilling, growing drugs on my lawn. Sinners stay still, but the merry-go-round.
Which I believe is an instrumental. We need a break. Right, San Francisco now. This is with 51 minutes into this thing. This is a long mixtape.
Wearing my disguise, my real face is fucking hideous. My pretty bitch watching Insidious with her pussy out. Side of all your baby's carriages. Arrogance, throwing cherry bombs where the sheriff lives. Just because that shit's hilarious. Kansas smoking meth with all the locals. Asking them to teach me how to yodel. Suppose I'll die alone from an overdose of some sort. In a motel while some more I'm fucking running to the drugstore. I hacked into the motherboard. I took acid in San Francisco. Stripped butt naked, caused a panic at the disco. Fell for the bimbo who was dancing at the strip show.
Wow, that was like Max ode to nihilism there. Just, I hacked into the motherboard, argued on a public forum, uploaded a virus to the network and then unplugged the cord. That sums up that song to me. Just not giving a fuck. Just in that mood, in that mode, just not giving a fuck. But again, yeah, keeping up the strong musicality that this part of the album is definitely hit.
Have I answered the question, who am I?
Colours and shapes.
Well, I I confront it all the time. Thank you.
And if you could just find where that comfort resides, no. With nothing but breathe while floating through galaxies, they said I couldn't. I noticed how sad one can get.
Dude, I was just absolutely gone then. What a beautiful contrast to everything that's come before on this album, showing Mac's range as an artist and a musician. A beautiful composition. I wasn't even re-listening. I was just allowing myself to float away. I believe that's what that track was for, especially after such weighty, bar-heavy tracks throughout. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that would probably just be cut up into a few segments of me just there, basically with my eyes shut. But that's what that song was for. I didn't want to pause it. A beautiful track. Okay, I'm very interested to see where we go now. We've got 18 to 24 to go on this gargantuan mixtape. We've got Insomniac featuring Rick Ross. So we're going to go through the final stretch now and see where it takes us.
On the motherfucking greatest. Y'all don't know that shit. I don't need your money, you can hold that check. At the crib, it's a Polo sweats. I don't need to hold us what the hoes don't get. Back for more. Insomniac, I don't know what I got a match for. Insomniac, I don't know what I got a match for. Insomniac, oh, hello, Q. Yeah, said, I'm a maniac, crazy act, same thing, I might need a cage effect. Chain reactions happen when I make a pack. A psycho, God made me that. I fade to black, I get down like a plane attack. Lyrics on the team, whoa, fearless, gently, fourth quarter Gretzky, take a bitch, your past sheet, don't test me, don't flex if you ain't got shit on me, and you ain't got shit on me, come get it, come get it, come. Jaw full of fresh whites, no bag full of unleaded. I don't get enough credit, wow. Don't sleep.
Dude, this is like a cocaine anthem, which is crazy to come after everything else that's been on this record. Alright, Ross now.
My weed burning, my chain glitter, he's self-made, Mac Miller, my real nigga, he's so complicated, I'm the shit, I'm constipated, yo baby mama, straight G, let me use the crib to mail all the weed, I'm jet lagged, don't need a stylist, pants sag, Jimmy Fallon, blue and green in the green room, Def Jam like balls really wildin', yeah they hate but won't box a nigga, bought the steak from a boxer nigga, paranoid, I'm walking around, I'm butt naked with my chopper nigga.
Insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac.
Tune this
I'm
one.
an insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac. Yeah.
Uber.
Pins on my hand grenade. Somebody said that I deserve to die. I looked him in the eye, said the devil's not circumcised. Who put spiders in my applesauce? Took the pins on my hand grenade. Somebody tell me I deserve to die. The underdog like to play the game with Diddy Kong. She the God type, throw the bitch a Klondike. Everything is alright, see it's written in the sign. Coming up, fuck air. My bitch ass is like a plump hair, and she ain't pretty.
It's almost like we've come through a terrible hangover, come through all of the awfulness, and he's just back on it again, and the cycle continues.
Till I'm 102. Why you trying to stunt when we stunting on you? I said, I'm reading old Playboy magazines, something from the 50s when journalism had its peak. You play the background, you just a member of the faculty. I'm actually out here decision making.
Matt, I think the girl that you speaking about was in fact the same chick, late night, creeping out, sneaking out. My homie knew her, told me peep it out. Found out she was twerking, found out she wasn't working. The trunk up, top down, call it parking lot.
Okay, I'm parking lot pimping, I got nothing to lose. And I'ma do this till I'm 102.
Rain, featuring Vince Staples. Okay.
Take your time when talking to a nigga, I don't waste none. Knock you off your feet and then I flee before the jakes come. Sick of hearing cases from these niggas who ain't face none. Shooting reckless at the father almost murdered the kid. Or is it karma for the shit that both the parents had did? Ain't embarrassed why I'm living, we get married for kill. That fork in the road, no food on our plate, just the meals that we stole.
Wow. Yeah. What a strong verse there by Vince. Very different subject matter to the rest of the album, obviously. But just, yeah, summing up his environment brilliantly, and his relentless flow is so captivating as well. Shit, heaven knows heaven gates probably closed. Wow.
Hand emoji, the shit that in Jacoby, the holiest the holy, Nick Nolte and some Oakleys. I sniff the same shit that got Whitney, the high heel depression. My tower feel the metal coming out the Smith & Wesson bang. Say a prayer, leave my brains on the tile floor. My bitch hate me, always tell me I should smile more. Fly, great vibrations. The magazines need a quote. When I'm gone, sorry, I don't even know. Yo.
Wow, man. This is an amazing song again. Apparition.
Yeah, I've been rapping since the apparition. I was gonna kill me and I'm glad he didn't. Might have made a bad decision. He just left me with an ocean and a bad religion. While Mary Magdalene laughing, smoking a pack of Winstons. Up on the church steps right. Loose, I never slept tight, but I'ma keep dancing. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like now we're moving through the stage where we're open and honest at the end of, you know, the end of where a drugs trip should probably end, and now we're just going into the bender, into the craziness. This is what I'm interpreting it as.
I've experienced every feeling except fine. I'm line dancing again.
Clockwork got every single answer except time. I've experienced every feeling except fine. Wow. Amazing song. This mixtape is actually stunning. I wasn't so sure at first, but it's actually stunning. That and this beat as well.
Straight up, I just want to say one time after 2
right,
years
Thumbelina.
Crib, fuck all y'all motherfuckers living all over this motherfucker. Yeah, remember music. Old Jewish. He's on drugs again. My neighbor's yelling, I don't give a fuck again. And I swear to God, if the cops come again, I'ma open up this door, get the rumbling. Don't mind. All you see is dollar signs. You ain't got a chance when it's me on you. I'm a motherfucking legend, girl.
This is a weird song. I'm not really getting this one first time through. I must admit.
Before knock was deluxe, when I didn't have a brush, when it still was a host trying to fuck with me. Before I cleaned up a bit like his company coming. I ain't know we was on the cusp of the money, trying to get a few bucks under custody. And my twin brothers was all said brothers, so my kin gully and my skin hit with us. Nah. Can't call it harsh living when the margin between you and all these fuck niggas.
It feels like musically we're going back to where we were at the beginning of the record, with the strange organs and stuff like that and the discordant noises, and that's how I'm interpreting it. Like he's come back through the cocaine high, the bravado, into the emotional elements, into the bender, and now back into the kind of disaster. That's how I'm seeing the flow of this. I may be totally wrong. That's my own interpretation. Earl Sweatshirt is one of the best rappers ever.
Yo, the most critically acclaimed slang contortionist that ain't sucking corporate dick. Said it with my balls and grip. Other hand got a port to hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, isn't he dizzy off the ups and downs? He got a little Whitney, put it in the blunt for now. Smoke. My life, I've been afraid of power. Where did all that go? The wrong decision, always call my phone. Okay. Last supper, I was fucking with the Corleones. I need something stronger than the cortisone that can save me from the war unknown. Shout out to Solo and rest in peace to Lori Joe.
Final track now, grand finale.
Yeah. And if by chance this is my grand finale, bury me in Allegheny County. It's the most hated, so faded that I'm bow-legged. Don't bathe, gross gang, smell like old old man shit. No hobbies or recreation, don't even know my address. Self-medicate and self-education. Rick Rubin showed me transcendental meditation. Let us have a grand finale. Slowing down, we going out with a bang. Are you ready for the fireworks?
I mean, we talk about Mac's music being prescient, Mac himself seemingly knowing clearly where he was going, and then, you know, as I put this video out, sadly on the year anniversary of his passing, I can't believe this is the final track. I can, because of the way this whole thing is constructed, and I can because it makes total sense, but I can't actually believe that this is the final track. It's unbelievable, actually.
I'm a bit surprised that I'm even still alive. Mixing uppers and downers, practically suicide. My old Jewish mind, remember music, you'll be fine. And I make my own beats now, if you behind. It was a solid night, turn fireworks.
Well, unbelievable. I mean, those last two tracks were very strong, but at the same time, I've probably a bit overwhelmed just through listening through this whole very, very long mixtape through the whole way through. What an astonishing body of work. Like I said, at the beginning, you can probably see from the reactions, I wasn't so sure. All of that strange organ, very discordant, it was bar heavy, but I was thinking I'm enjoying this, but this is a long mixtape. But then it gets much more musically accessible, and yet becomes all of these essays basically on addiction, all of these essays on depression, anxiety, where he is, but how other people could potentially relate to that. And it's, to me, one of the most fascinating, and that's a horrible word to use given what's happened, but I mean, I feel like I learned a lot, way more than I ever had before, about addiction, about what it's like to be truly in the midst of a serious drug problem, combined with depression, combined with imposter syndrome, and then also the feeling that he has when he's high as well. It's not all negative, you know. You look at the Insomniac track, it's like a cocaine anthem, I would see that as. What a fascinating body of work, especially seeing, you know, drugs are often seen as a positive, or either a positive in hip-hop music or a solution, you know, to get out of bad situations. And this kind of shows the other side of that, but also isn't all, you know, like I said, it's not all negative. There's a lot going on there. It's complex. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting just a lighter mixtape, to be honest, full of beats and bars and kind of old school breaks. I wasn't expecting this to be this kind of like vast concept, this vast set of essays. A quite brilliant mind, truly. I can't believe he was only 21 when he made most of these, probably younger. And an absolutely fantastic MC, and what an absolute fucking tragedy that a man that knew so much about where he was going ended up going, unfortunately, where he was going. So an honour again to have been able to hear this and to do it on camera. I'm going to go back and listen to much of this again, definitely. In fact, probably all of it again. But that little trio in the middle with the birthday, the wedding and the funeral was amazing. And there was plenty of other tracks now. Just bringing up the track list real quick, because there's so many you forget. The gorgeous colours and shapes there. Insomniac was hard. Obviously Diablo, amazing. Ave Maria, very strong. Polo Jeans was nasty. The beginning, I'm going to have to go back and listen to again, like the first 6 or 7 tracks, because it was a long time ago, and they were just some of them were kind of difficult to listen to. And then we came through Uber and Rain with Mike Jones and Vince Staples. They were feeling like Mac was falling back off the edge, and then God knows where we went with New Faces and Thumbelina, before finishing with the very funereal, the very almost like a goodbye letter, a grand finale. Amazing, amazing artist. I will definitely be doing the rest of his stuff, you know, beyond this. And as you know, rest in peace, my Mac. I hope that this reaction does the man some sort of justice. And yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed with that YouTube stuff. I won't really go into all that stuff on this particular video. And I'll catch you on the next one. Please let me know your thoughts on this mixtape. Please let me know your thoughts on Mac Miller in general. Please let me know, you know, the other stuff that I definitely need to hear. And guys, I'll just catch you on the next video. Thanks very much. I'm John Denton, and peace.